This is your WCIA3 forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
Well, it's been a pretty cloudy day so far. Then we've seen more in the way of some sunshine, and it has allowed some of the storms that we expected to form and become potentially strong to severe to do exactly that. So we've got some warnings out there to talk about. Actually, just one cell across portions of Menard, as well as getting very close now to the Sangamon County there. We've got it as Cass and Morgan counties for a tornado warning, as radar indicated there. Very large hail, up to 2 inches in diameter, with a larger severe thunderstorm warning that does go around it for Cass, Menard, Morgan, Sangamon counties. The severe thunderstorm warning goes until 5:30, the tornado warning until 5:15. And like I said, there's also some large hail with this as well coming into the Virginia area. So we're going to talk and track these storms as we go through the evening hours. This will probably be one of many severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings that we're going to get out of these storms as we go through the rest of the evening. WCIA3 News starts right now.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA3 News at 5.
You heard it right there. It's going to be an active weather evening in central Illinois. Storms are coming, and they have the potential to be severe. Good evening. I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. The main threats are strong winds and hail, but our team is monitoring the tornado threat closely. We have team coverage for you tonight. WCIA3's meteorologist Jack Gerfin live in our tracking center, and meteorologist Jacob Dickey live in our studio. Okay, Jack, first to you, what can we expect?
Well, like I said during our forecast first, Jennifer, this actually might be the first of many warnings that we're going to get out of these storms, specifically the storm that we actually have a warning for currently. This is on the southern end of a line of showers and storms, and it has a radar-indicated tornado on it for Cass and Morgan counties. Right there, you can see a very nice inflow notch just off to the, kind of straight off to the west of Quiche there, southwest of Virginia. And we've got that nice looking radar hook there. That hook echo gives us that classic shape, and that's why there's an radar indicated tornado warning for Cass as well as Morgan counties. We also have the warning itself across most of Cass, Menard, Morgan, and even into parts of Sangamon counties for the actual storm, a severe thunderstorm warning. That one goes until 5:30. The tornado warning, we still have another 14 minutes left of that one. But hail size is going to be a big issue with these storms as well, especially when it's an individual cell like this. We've got the blues and even some purples there near the Virginia area, signifying that this storm is producing some pretty large hail. And zooming out, we've got this whole line of showers and storms that go off to the north, but we call these the tail end Charlie storms. The southern end of the line of storms is usually the ones that's strongest, and that's what we have right now. But this might be a while for us in central Illinois seeing warnings. We're going to go to meteorologist Jacob Dickey with more.
Yeah, Jack, we were watching that storm. I do want to mention, Jack, I just saw on Twitter a storm chaser. Actually, we may have reported a brief touchdown with that storm at 4:55 near Aaronsville. So we're going to look into that. The National Weather Service has not updated on that. That's just a social media report from a well-respected individual that we know here. And again, that's our one storm. There's a lot of real estate ahead of it here in central Illinois. This is a severe thunderstorm watch for these counties in that pinkish color here. That goes all the way until 9 o'clock tonight. It will include Champaign, Danville, Paris, Tuscola, Mattoon, Charleston, Decatur, Bloomington, Lincoln, Springfield, Taylorville, and down towards Vandalia and Litchfield. One storm right now, but there is a chance as we go through the evening, as this complex that's over there moves off to the east, we may get some more warnings, rather severe thunderstorm warnings or even tornado warnings. We're going to watch it closely, Jack, here as we're watching in the studio and across the forecast center. We've got our crews also on standby, Jack, as we continue to watch this. I'm going to send it back to you.
That's right, and we're going to continue to monitor the situation here over the next few hours as storms push through the area. In the meantime, we'll continue on with the newscast. Jennifer?
All right, Jack, thank you. And to stay up to date on severe weather near you, download our WCIA3 weather and news apps.
And here's an update to a fire that killed a man and a baby in Vermilion. The Edgar County coroner says the mother of the baby who died has been arrested. This comes after his office ruled the 2 deaths homicides. 35-year-old Michael Phipps and 2-month-old Nettie Phipps died in that fire at their home on March 1st. The coroner says both died from breathing in carbon monoxide and smoke and exposure to the heat. State police arrested 26-year-old Stephanie Sanders today. She's the child's mother and was Michael Phipps' girlfriend. Danville police say a 34-year-old man is dead after being shot. It happened near the corner of Plum and Williams Streets yesterday. Officers found him lying in the street. He died at the hospital. Police say the suspect got out of a car, shot him, and drove off.
Police are looking for tips after a man died in a shooting. It happened on April 11th near Weber and Fairlawn Street in Urbana. Police found a 46-year-old man lying in the road. He died the next day at the hospital. Detectives say a silver four-door sedan was seen leaving the area. Police ask, if you know something, say something. 2 teenagers are dead after crashing into a semi on I-70. It happened in Cumberland County near Greenup. Authorities say the semi was pulled over on the right shoulder. The driver veered off the road, hitting the back of the truck. It shut down part of the interstate for about 7 hours yesterday.
A car dealership in Westville has to fix a hole in its building after a car went off the road and slammed into it. The crash happened yesterday at Hills Used Cars. Crash not only took out a wall, but also damaged cars inside the repair shop and filled the air with smoke from burning tires. No one who was working there was hurt. The driver was knocked out during the crash, but woke up and then turned down medical care. He was arrested for driving under the influence. Investigators are still working to find out why a warehouse in Decatur burned down. Crews were called to Grand and Calhoun Saturday. The chief says investigators are talking to neighbors and collecting security camera footage. The street remains closed. He says they're also trying to contact the property owner. State Fire Marshal's office was called to investigate.
A barber shop that was at the center of protests last summer is now part of a discrimination case. The Champaign Human Relations Commission will hold a public hearing. WCI3's Jamie Mays is live in our newsroom. So Jamie, what's going to happen during this hearing?
Jennifer, the Champaign Human Relations Commission will appoint a hearing officer, go over procedures, and then schedule the next steps. Rogue Barber Company had a membership-only policy. The company's application required clients not to be members of Black Lives Matter, white supremacist groups, or Antifa. Last year, there were protests outside because of that. During one of them, someone walked out of the shop and drove through the protesters. Eventually, the owner of that business shut down his Champaign location. The city says someone filed a complaint against Rogue Barber Company. They claim the business discriminated against someone on the basis of sex. Now, a hearing is scheduled.
The Human Relations Commission will make the determination at the end of this case as to what the best resolution is regarding the alleged discrimination complaint.
It's been about 20 years since the Human Relations Commission and the city had a public hearing on a case like this. The communications manager guesses the commission might come back next month to hear testimony. This case could still be resolved before then. The city says that is their goal, and in most cases, they are able to come to some type of resolution. Live in the newsroom, Jamie Mays, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Jamie, thank you so much. That hearing scheduled for 5:30 in the evening. It's going to be virtual. Anybody can watch it. It'll be live streamed on the city's website. The Champaign County Sheriff needed IT help and went to an unusual source for help. The office has been using a new computer system to keep track of inmates since last September. But the sheriff realized he needed a specialized team to help them program their database. That's where Parkland College came in. A class spent a semester helping do it. The sheriff says not only does this make their jobs easier, it also gave students some real-world experience.
I would think that if they ever have a career doing this programming language, SQL, those are some of the questions that people are going to have, you know, is, well, what do you want to do? What's your ultimate goal? Those things. And they got to ask those questions while they were developing this for us.
The sheriff says this went so well, he'd like to partner with Parkland again on other projects.
Some parents say they're worried after seeing pictures of teenagers without masks at an indoor prom. WCIA3's Jen Lasks in studio with us. So, Jen, where did this happen?
Paul, this happened in Westville's prom, which was Saturday. The theme was masquerade. Now, the school district limited attendance to juniors, seniors, and chaperones and said masks needed to be worn inside except when taking pictures and sitting for dinner. But pictures posted on the district's Facebook page show almost no masks on the floor. I spoke with Vermilion County Health Director Douglas Toole, who says they're still urging people to be vigilant, especially as we hit prom and graduation season.
Certainly feel bad for the families and the especially schools this time of year that want to have those large gatherings to celebrate milestones. There are smart ways of doing that. We're just asking everyone to please be patient.
Toole says a lot of organizations have reached out to the department to go over COVID-19 safety measures that they plan to use for large gatherings. Now, like I said, that was the district's Facebook page. The high school's Facebook page did have pictures that appear to be earlier in the evening where students were still wearing masks. I reached out to the district for a response. No one has gotten back to me yet. Back to you, Paul.
All right, Jen, when you hear back, please let us know. And right now, Vermilion County's positivity rate is 3.1%. The administrator there says the number of cases is going up. He's worried about variants. A little more than 20% of the county is fully vaccinated, and he's seeing the vaccination rate slowing down. And we're going to hand it over to Jack Gerfen now. You have a new warning to tell us about.
Yep, we do. We actually have some tornado warnings to talk about, and these ones will go now for a little bit. We've got the next one here that just got issued until 5:45. Still radar indicated for Cass, Menard, Morgan, and Sangamon counties. And this one does have hail of 2 inches, which is quite big. So this one is a dangerous storm. We've got the classic radar notch there with our hook echo. Back farther off to the east, nearby the kind of Quiche area there, to the west of Philadelphia, right by the Burlingame area. That's where our notch is, and so that's where we are likely going to be seeing our circulation. Now, we do expect there to be, like I said, the potential here for numerous tornado warnings to be coming in out of this storm because it's on the southern end of a long line of showers and storms, and it's got no competition, so it's able to bring in the mild air that we have with temperatures in the 70s, as well as the dew point. It's pretty muggy out there, and so we're going to be looking at this storm to potentially kind of give us some headaches here for a while. Again, things have been coming in as radar indicated. We've had some pictures come in, and we'll show those in a little bit. Jacob Dickey is currently getting everything posted onto social media, but we're going to show some pictures here of some of the tornado warned storm. So again, our velocity showing some of the rotation there, kind of broad right now currently, but you've got where the reds and the greens meet up there. That is where we typically will indicate some rotation, and that's what we're seeing right now on our radar. Again, we've got essentially the two warnings there right now. That is due to the fact that we have the one warning that goes until 5:15 left over. And also, too, keep in mind as well, this storm has a very large hail core right by the Virginia area there, kind of right there along Illinois 125, and now passing just to the east of Illinois 78. This is a big supercell thunderstorm with some very strong, not only winds with it, you've got the radar indicated tornado portion with it, but also hail too, potentially quite large in size. If you guys wouldn't mind going over to Jacob Dickey, who's got that picture there, and we've got more information on that one. Jacob?
Yeah, I wanted to explain a little bit about what we're seeing here, Jack. This was from Andrew Pritchard. He's a storm chaser based out of Champaign-Urbana. We're looking into the updraft of the storm. This is that rotating mesocyclone beneath it here. You see that wall cloud. This picture did come from a little earlier when it was more closer to Aaronsville, but now the storm, of course, is to the south and east of Virginia. It's crossed Illinois 178, heading now to the direction of Ashland. If you're in Ashland, the time is now to take shelter because this storm is spinning, and it is spinning like a top here. As Jack mentioned, there's plenty of instability, energy to work with here. It's all by itself, and you can see the updraft as it continues there. So there may have been a brief tornado with this, Jack, at one point. We haven't gotten confirmation of that, but some spotters and chasers have mentioned they may have seen a bit of a circulation there. So we got this picture. If you have photos and it's safe to do so in your neighborhood, let us know with what's going on, and you can send those to us on Twitter, on Facebook. Our news crews are watching and keeping an eye on it here. Jack, I want to send it back to you more with the path of where this tornadic thunderstorm is heading.
So yeah, we've got it moving off to the east currently, and as it does so, we're looking at potentially the places of cities of Ashland, Pleasant Plains, Petersburg, Athens, and Culver to be potentially impacted there within these. We've got Ashland 525, 535 for Pleasant Plains, 548 for Petersburg, just before 6 o'clock for Athens, and 6:05 for Culver. So that would be some of the cities there, and if you live in and around those areas, you'll want to make sure that you get to your safe spot immediately here as the storm is moving off to the east. We've got, how much of a speed is that one going, Jacob? Did you last see?
The latest I saw was 25 to 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, I'm going to check that too.
As far as it goes. And so it's going to take its
30,
time here.
yeah.
And we may very well be spending some time doing this here as far as it goes. I want to, real quick, Jack, are we by chance going to throw the stream up on Facebook?
Yeah,
is that something?
I'll get that up.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And then what I can do is I'll keep an eye on things here as far as it goes. But again, this is our one storm of the day here. What I'd like to do real quick is, while Jack's getting that, if you can put me on to
take max one.
put me under the key real quick here, and I want to just kind of explain a little bit more about what we're watching here. Here we are looking at these severe weather impacts. We talked about all day today how the chance may be there for the tornado or two, a little bit higher than initially we may have expected with a particular event. That's the way the setup is. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Still, though, large hail and high winds. We may see some winds with some of these isolated supercells, 60 to 70 miles an hour. And the latest for that storm that's now passing south and east of Virginia, heading off towards Ashland, and eventually in the general direction of Athens, Pleasant Plains, and down towards Sherman, has a report now, the National Weather Service saying it has 2-inch hail. That's larger than golf ball size hail with this particular storm. So those threats all on the table with these isolated storms. We're in our window of opportunity now, and probably will be for the next several hours here. Quick check at that tornado risk. Look where that storm is. Out here to the west, it's out to the north and east of Jacksonville. That level 5, that 5 out of 10 we had across central Illinois now. There's some good instability in place ahead of it here, so it may be a bit of an evening for us as far as it goes. But again, we're going to have to watch here for the hail. We're saying perhaps up to golf balls, if not a little larger, with some of these individual storms that come on through. The later we go, though, into this evening, once the sun goes down, then things may start to train down just a little bit as far as it goes. So we'll continue to watch here. When you're ready, Jack, give me a thumbs up with that live.
Still keep going.
Okay, sounds good.
Slow.
Sounds good. We'll get that Facebook Live up because I have a feeling, Jack, more than likely we're going to be here for a little bit while as far as it goes in central Illinois. So again, the hail is a concern, but we're here primarily because of that tornado risk that we're seeing here in central Illinois, and we'll probably stay here for the next foreseeable future. The warning itself does go all the way until 5:45. That's another 29 minutes from now as far as it goes. So I'm going to switch over here to a different graphic, a different product that we can use to kind of look at things when it comes to the storm here. And this is just looking at the storm itself in a different view. We've got all these different products that we can look at and view. Right now we're looking at the storm to the north and northeast of Jacksonville. To give you a little reference point here, there's Jacksonville, here's Virginia, there's Philadelphia, Newmansville, Ashland, Tallulah, Berlin, New Berlin. Off behind me is Springfield then. There's an indication that there's some circulation in here, and that warning, as I get that update as far as it goes here, it has been extended. So it is now moving to the south, right into Ashland here. And for whatever reason, my polygon hasn't filled in on this particular product, but we know that that's our circulation now coming in towards the community of Ashland, Tallulah. There you go. There you can see that updated warning that finally pulled on in there. This does not include Chandlerville. This does not include Jacksonville. This is a southeastern Cass County issue, far northern and northeastern Morgan County here. Right there is Interstate 72. You've got the Jacksonville Correctional Facility there. And this storm will be well north of that. On this track, this would be from Springfield north if it continues in that general direction. Just to give you another vantage point of this storm here, again, as this is going to update here, this is a 1 supercell thunderstorm. Right here is where you see that little hook wrapping around. Your inflow notch is right there. All these red dots, just to give you an idea, are storm spotters that are out there. And they're watching this storm here from Philadelphia down towards Ashland. You take that road, it goes all the way into the north and west side of Springfield there, and it will be something we watch. Let's talk a little bit downstream. First off, I want to say Virginia, Highway 178 down to Jacksonville. We can give you an all clear. This is mainly a southeastern southeastern Cass, far northern Morgan County issue. And there's Springfield downstream, moving in east direction here, 25 to 30 miles an hour or so. We'll be coming eventually towards Athens, Sherman, Williamsville, perhaps downstream. Some areas that you'll want to watch here. We think that this storm has a lot of energy to work with. But Jack, as I kind of widen out a little bit, one, we've got some new warnings popping up, and we've got some more storms we're going to have to watch. This one here to the north of Winchester on the Morgan-Scott County line just crossed the Illinois River. This one down here south of Pittsfield and Pike County will carry off to the east, and then there's more storms out there. We're here because of the tornado warning, Jack, but there's other warnings, there's other alerts and issues that are going to be a problem here. You may not get the tornado, but you can get that hail and that damaging wind, and that may very well cause a problem, right, Jack?
That's correct, and we actually have a new severe thunderstorm warning that got issued just off to the north of that storm that you've got the warning, the tornado warning on, and it's a much more bigger box here. So as we take a Max 2 full screen, you can see that we've got this new severe thunderstorm warning for Cass, Logan, Mason, and Menard counties for 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail. However, there's also the threat there that says at the bottom of that, tornado possible. Now you've got within this line of storms, the storms here don't exactly have all that much in the way of the classic supercell look like it does down to the south with the tornado warning. But what we have here is we've got here is little indents here within the line of storms itself. When you get those little lines that kind of curve in and out, and I'm going to highlight that here in just a moment, and they kind of look a little wavy like that with little notches here and there, that means that there could be some rotation that does develop kind of along that, and that's why there is the tag there for tornado possible. So what to also look out for this line of storms too as these move off to the east. These ones move off to the east right now at around, just refresh this here, at around 35 miles an hour. So 35 miles an hour for these storms will put us with something like this for a track. And I'll also do a track too for our other storms as well. But this puts us at a track at 35 miles an hour. Nearby Crane Creek at around 526, Tarahan at 540, Saw Creek at 549, potentially Mason City by 557, Luther at 604. So that's just for the line of storms off to the north of the tornado warned storm. But we're going to still have to keep an eye out here for what's going to be occurring here with these tornado warnings. So we have now at 520 just the one tornado warning, and they've, I don't know, Jacob, they may have actually made this one a bit of a wider kind of more.
What they did is they trimmed out Virginia. So we give the all clear to Litterbury and Virginia, that 170 corridor officially.
Okay.
We gave that all clear a few moments ago. It's getting pretty much over Ashland. The time now for Ashland. Look downstream there. Salisbury, Sherman, Athens, some of those areas will likely be down the path. The question is, Jack, whether or not they go with another tornado warning, if they go with a severe thunderstorm warning.
Yes.
We'll be watching that. Still no indication of a tornado down at this time, and at some point we'll want to pull the sky cam up from the back there, but we'll continue to watch, Jack.
Yep. So this is from the tornado warned cell. 521 Ashland, so that's basically right now you should be in your safe spot already. Pleasant Plains, you've got about 9 minutes, 5:30. Athens around 5:52, Sherman at 6:02, and Williamsville at 6:09. This, as of right now, at least based on the track that I've got, takes it to the north of Springfield, but it does get very close to the Riverton area, at least based on the track that I have right now. And when we get a better picture in our latest update, and if we get it more of a, if it's moving more to the east-southeast, we'll be able to kind of tell here whether Springfield is going to be directly impacted. As of right now, it is off to the northwest.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close call for some of those northern suburbs there, Jack. From north of Springfield, maybe the northwest side there, you get out towards, the town that they just had that grain elevator fire in about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Sherman, perhaps. Athens is up that way. But, Jack, one thing to notice, sometimes these storms, as the rotation strengthens, they can sometimes take a little bit of a right turn. So by no means are we saying Springfield's clear. I think that's important to mention here. Real quick, Jack, I want to talk real fast about what to do when there's a tornado warning in effect. That pathway that Jack showed you, there's no warning yet for some of those towns, but you're downstream. We want to give some heads up ahead of the storm because we think it's going to come in the direction. If you do get a tornado warning, you'll immediately want to proceed to your safe place. If you don't have one, think down low, think most interior room. Leave mobile homes. This is not a situation to stay in a mobile home here, even if maybe a tornado doesn't impact you. Strong straight line winds of 70, maybe higher, 70 miles an hour can still cause damage. No driving during tornado warnings here. In fact, folks that are to the north and west of Springfield there will want to watch that here. We encourage you to stop at a nearby gas station, stop at a restaurant. If you can get to a home, a site-built structure, that's a place to go. The three words I like to tell are in, down, and up. In. Think inside, interior, as many walls between you and the outside of your home. No windows, no exterior walls. That might be an interior bathroom, hallway, or a closet. If you can get down, a lot of folks in central Illinois are blessed with basements. That's a great place to be for that. If not, a crawl space or just as low as you can down is the best thing to do here. We want to put as close as you can down to the ground. And in addition, up. The word up stands for cover up. When it comes to tornadoes, the #1 cause of injuries and fatalities is head injuries. Cover your head with a bicycle helmet. Wear hard-soled shoes as well. Should something happen, there's damage, you get out. You don't want to have your feet walking on broken glass. We don't have an indication of a tornado now, but we still want you to take those precautions, especially if you're under that tornado warning. And we want you to stay until we give you that all clear. We'll keep tracking this particular storm and any other storms in the area. And, of course, watch WCIA3 coverage online. The thing to note, you may be listening to us on your TV. Turn your volume up all the way, and you can listen to us from your safe spot. Or if you have the WCIA3 weather app, you have a Facebook page, you're on Twitter, you can follow our live streams on our digital platforms. We're there right now, and we'll stay there with you while the storm is in place. One more thing, Jack, real quick. Cars, mobile homes, or parking under a highway overpass. An absolute worst place to be during a tornado. The overpasses, well, may be an issue, especially, Jack, as this gets towards I-55 because of the hail threat with this. Cars stopping there under the bridges. That's not a safe thing to do. It's illegal to do that. Continue to move, because if you stop traffic and a tornado comes, you got some problems there. That's something we want to avoid. So get out of your car, get to a safe place. We've got insurance for things like that. As far as an open rooms or manufactured housing, that's not a great place to be either. When I mean open rooms, big box market, in that part of the world, there's not a whole lot in the way of that. But the best place is, before Jack, we get you on that new warning that just popped in, interior room or basement of a well-built building. Your home, if it's got a foundation or a basement, get down there. Again, in, down, up. Think those types of things. Of course, a tornado shelter or a safe room is a great place to be. Jack, there was just a new warning issued. This one looks like it's a severe thunderstorm warning for a cell we were watching. Tell us more about where that one is and where it's heading.
So that one right now is for Morgan and Scott counties for your standard 60-mile-per-hour winds, as well as 1-inch in diameter hail. Currently basically straight off to the west of Jacksonville, and that does go until 6:15. Now, as I zoom out a little bit, you can tell that
One thing to note, Jack, we've got a confirmed tornado now on that storm observed in Ashland, and so likely that warning is going to be extended. Just saw that cross. Confirmed tornado over Pleasant Plains, 14 miles east of Virginia. That's pretty much Ashland, Claysville, and Tallulah areas as far as that goes. So now this is escalated a little bit. We've got a confirmed tornado reported on this. I just saw that. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Nope, you're good.
To get that information across.
Because I just saw it change the color too. So, and actually one of the things I did want to point out here is that we have all these different colors for these counties with the warnings. You've got the pinkish purple for our tornado warning. That is what we're doing nowadays, is when there is a confirmed tornado on the ground, so an observed tornado, we have it coming up as that brighter color, and that way it pops a little bit more. You can get some better visual with that one. You've got also severe thunderstorm warnings that are either kind of an orangey color, and that's the ones that have the tornado possible ones. Like
Jack, look at the sky cam there real quick. Off in the distance, we can kind of see that lowering, that maybe where that tornado is here as far as it goes. I just wanted to real quick bring that in. They brought that up. So that's something we're going to watch too, Jack. We'll keep that up while you're talking about those other warnings.
Yeah, and then we've got the other warnings here for, your standard severe thunderstorm warning. Those are going to be more of a yellow. But that's what the different colors are, in case you were wondering. So going to our tornado warned storm here, the one that we have the observed tornado for, we still have that one going to the east at 40 miles an hour. So what we'll do is we'll put a track on that one, and we're going to have it go for the east to 40 miles an hour. Make sure you back up a little bit more here to get that in. And when we go and put that on there, we're going to see that it's probably going to still take it just off to the north of Springfield as of right now. But we still need to make sure that we're nearby areas here are being prepared. So 540 Gardner. This does actually put it into Springfield at 548. It's going to be pretty close there on its eastern track. If it goes straight east, it'll likely pass just to the north, but the northern suburbs of Springfield definitely need to be aware here. We've got your Sherman areas, Mechanicsburg 606, 615 Mount Pulaski, 623 for Niantic. So we're going to watch these storms continue to move off to the east. This one has now picked up a bit of a pace. It was warned initially at around 30 miles an hour. Now we've got it coming in at 40 miles an hour. And actually, can we take max 2? Max 2. There we go. I got the track on there. So if you were kind of wondering what I was saying here, it should pop up.
Full?
There we go. There we go. So now we've got, again, there's the track that I was kind of saying there. Gardner at 540, Springfield at 548, Mechanicsburg 606, 615 Mount Pulaski, 623 Niantic. This is moving off to the east at 40 miles an hour, and it is observed tornado. So please make sure that you are in your safe space with everything that you need down there, and we will continue to provide you updates. We also have with these storms, for sure with these storms, some very large hail that's been developing too with them. What I'm going to do here is look at our hail sizes, and with those hail sizes here, kind of right over the Tallulah area there, just off to the northwest of Pleasant Plains there, a large hail core with that storm. Zooming out more, you've got, well, that's pretty much it right now in terms of hail. Maybe some small ones just off to the north of our viewing area. But as of right now, the cell that's got it with the large hail, Tallulah. So zooming out here, giving you the wide picture, this is what we have right now. We have this line of storms that have been coming in now, just approaching kind of the north or the western side of our viewing area, kind of that northwestern edge. It is not to I-55 just yet, but you have a number of these warnings here with the different colors. You've got the orange boxes, which those are severe thunderstorm warnings, but those severe thunderstorm warnings are have the potential tornado within there. So we have to still look out for tornadoes to still potentially pop up within those. We then also have the severe thunderstorm warning. That's for Morgan and Scott counties with 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail. That is more of a standard severe thunderstorm warning, still obviously dangerous, but one that does not have the tornado possible tag in it. This one, though, for Petersburg up to Crane Creek, Easton, just off to the west of Greenview, this one has tornado possible within it, and that's why we're looking at that to be still one to watch out for. But obviously, all eyes are on this tornado-warned storm. In addition to that, the 2-inch in diameter hail, big hail with this storm as it moves off to the east at around 40 miles an hour. Jacob, do you have anything?
Yeah, we're going to put the double box up with you there, Jack, and it will come up shortly here. We've been watching the lowering on that, so we'll get that double box here shortly. What we're going to do is continue to watch with this new tornado warning that's in place that just was extended there. And what I want to mention real fast is this now does include parts of North and West Springfield.
Yep, there it is.
It also includes areas to the Athens, between Athens and Springfield. And so this is going to be, we talked a little bit about it, Jack, where maybe it was going to take a little more of a south and a southeast track across the area. So in the back, whenever we're ready with that double box, we'll use that because we're going to want to watch our sky cam in downtown very closely. Let's talk about some of the places that are in this. Highway 125 towards Pleasant Plains. That's the area we want to watch. Highway 97, that takes you up towards Lake Petersburg. Petersburg, you're not in this. Lake Petersburg and Tallulah, likely getting some large hail as we continue to watch this storm move to the east. Then on Highway 29 from Springfield to Athens. And as far as the warning goes itself, it really does include the northern part of Springfield there, including areas from downtown, say the downtown area to the north, up to the State Fair and to the west. But at this point, Jack, if it's a part of Springfield, it's all of Springfield that's a concern. And so we've got that sky cam that we pulled up there, Jack,
so
and we've been watching it very closely. We've got a great view of that storm.
Yep, this is our Flooring America INET camera there doing a great job this evening, seeing that we can have that, that lowering off in the distance. And that lowering that we might be looking at would be potentially the wall cloud of the storm itself. The storm has still going at around 40 miles an hour off to the east. The new warning that it does have for it still has it, like Jacob said, does get it into the northwestern portion of the Springfield area, and it takes it just a little bit west to I-55. So it's not to I-55 just yet, but we are going to be watching this one very closely here as it moves off to the east, still at around about 40 miles an hour or so. So if you live anywhere nearby these areas that I'm about to call out, be sure that you're in your safe space. 548, the Springfield Airport, potentially impacted there. It's on the north side of town, so they're going to have to be alerted there. Clear Lake at 557, Mechanicsburg 610, Mount Pulaski 619, 627 in Niantic. And again, these are just the areas that are being called out by our weather program. So if you live nearby these areas, or if you can see where you are in relation to these this polygon here that I've drawn, definitely want to make sure that you're getting ready to go if you're not in your safe space already. We've got to make sure that we've got to be careful with this one because this one is a confirmed tornado. Just a little bit ago at 529, it was a confirmed tornado located over Pleasant Plains or 15 miles northwest of Springfield, moving east at around 30 miles an hour. So we've got some new updates with that one. We've got the expiration of the severe thunderstorm warning for Cass, Menard, Morgan, Sangamon counties there at 5:33. So there's probably just kind of recycling a lot of their warnings here. And we're going to stay up to date on this as these keep on moving off to the east here. Kind of take the big picture, just kind of letting everybody know where they are. I-55, they have still, no storms have crossed I-55 yet. So if you live anywhere east of there, you've still got a while. For those of you asking about, you know, your Wcia's all the way down to Casey's, it is going to be a while until it gets there. But Jacob's got some pictures here. We're going to go to him.
Yeah, we got some pictures we want to show you of that storm off to the north and west of Springfield. This is a little bit earlier. Again, that updraft right here. We look really closely in there, and if I zoom in to that picture, what we may see, it's a little blurry, but there's this little bitty notch hanging down here, and there may be a little bit under the ground here. So again, we're watching those storms in the region here. That particular one, it looks like it was near Pleasant Plains earlier. That one came from Jeff Frame, and here was another one near Pleasant Plains that he took. He says that wall cloud is rotating. Jeff is a professor at the University of Illinois, well-trained, very experienced.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
And is watching this storm closely here. Also, I got a text from my dad, Jack. He's actually over in Sherman watching too.
Okay.
And so we may try and check in with him later as far as it goes. So we're getting these pictures, and if you've got those pictures and you want to send them our way, let us know. I want to reiterate, since we've had a confirmed tornado touchdown with this, according to the National Weather Service, where do you want to go? Interior room, lowest level of your home, no mobile homes, no manufactured homes, no cars. The tornado shelter, a basement, places like that are the places to be as far as it goes, because we've had a report of a tornado very near Pleasant Plains up near Ashland as far as it goes. And so we're going to keep our eyes on that sky cam as well, Jack. And we'll watch it closely here in the back. If you can help us watch it, you start seeing something, let us know, and we'll have it here. There's a lot of real estate, though, Jack. Look at all these spots that are out there.
Yep.
Not a whole lot happening in parts of the region. And, you know, Champaign probably wants to be watching CBS News tonight. Now, it's after it's 5:35. We're here because our friends in Sangamon County have a confirmed tornado. Now, the warning does include parts of the city of Springfield, not quite to Williamsville. But I tell you what, if this continues off to the east there, it's going to be darn close to that area. Sherman, Williamsville, you get up here south and west of Lincoln. I do want to mention, though, while I'm here, Jack, that warning to the north, the severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible, and then another severe thunderstorm warning includes Jacksonville. That storm may have some hail and some wind with it, too. So we're continuing to watch here and keep our eyes on things as far as it goes. Very much something we're going to watch here closely as I just check some more data real fast and keep our eyes on things. So what I'm going to do real fast, Jack, is I want to take a look at some of these another vantage point of this here and show you this radar to give you an idea. We've got this cluster of storms up here. This is Lincoln, there's Springfield, there's Jacksonville. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that's going to include Menard, Mason, and parts of far western Logan County. We've got then the tornado warning for that storm, which really starting to organize quite a bit here. You see this particular one, Jack. Look at that there. There you go. Circulation really wrapping in. You got your inflow notch coming in here. Large hail between Tallulah and Athens heading towards Cantrell. The tornado would be on the county line to the north and west of Springfield. I still say Springfield, especially the north side, wants to be in your tornado shelter. Sherman, Williamsville, downstream, we want you to be there, even though the warning not technically for I-55. Draw a straight line here. This storm's on some railroad tracks, and it's continuing off to the east. Another quick check on the Jacksonville storm. We're going to watch all of these storms because they may have the chance for some circulation in them. And I'm just going to switch my product over here, Jack, before we send it back to you. What I'm looking for are reds and greens here near Jacksonville. I don't have an indication of a circulation with this one at this point, but likely from Jacksonville up to the north as you head northern Morgan County to the east of Concord, heading up eventually towards the Virginia area, south and east of Aaronsville. Probably going to see some hail. And as we look in here, Jack, more than likely I'll bounce back and forth and just confirm what I'm seeing. It seems like that little circulation. Let's train our eyes right here real fast, and I'll put it back onto the velocity. The circulation itself maybe not as strong as it was earlier, but that doesn't matter because we've had a confirmed tornado with this particular storm, so there is still a circulation. It's to the south and west of Athens, probably no more than a few miles, right on the county line there from Menard County and Sangamon County line to the north of and west of Springfield to the west of Sherman. So that's what we're going to watch as far as it goes. And then if I can, we're just going to keep an eye on this here and watch it.
I want to butt in really quick, Jacob, just really quick.
Yeah,
we've got reports from our very own Mark Maxwell that the tornado sirens are going off in downtown Springfield.
Okay, perfect. That's good to hear here.
Yep.
If we can, I'm going to pull up some photos from my dad real fast. He's out there watching. Dad and I have storm chased for a long time around here. This is looking near Pleasant Plains at that storm. Doesn't look like there's anything down now, but definitely a lot of these scud clouds in place here.
Yeah, and a little bit of a ragged wall cloud looking too, maybe. Yeah,
absolutely. But that circulation still is there. It won't look all that clean. More than likely, my eyes are trained a little bit more into that area as far as it goes. So we'll watch that. Let me see one more picture that he sent. This was a little bit earlier, and you can kind of see how perhaps there's some lowering right here maybe that's watched, but I also see on the edge of the screen maybe something there. So spotters are out watching this, and you're probably watching at home as far as it goes with these little circulations that are in place. So Jack, we're going to continue to watch this. This confirmed tornado earlier that was on the ground near Pleasant Plains. Ashland is all clear from that storm. Really, I think Pleasant Plains is either. This is now getting into the north and northwest side of Springfield, eventually Sherman, Williamsville, this storm coming for you. We've got other storms to watch too as far as it goes. So Jack, I'm going to let you do a little more analysis and tell us more what you're seeing, and we'll continue to follow this tornado warning with a confirmed tornado at one point in parts of Sangamon and Menard County now.
Yep, so I just want to go now to that warning on here just to make sure that we've all got a track on there. Again, now at the, first off though, new kind of update with that one, 2.5-inch hail. Also with that one. So that is tennis ball sized hail. That is a big hail maker. Actually, I was going to show some velocity, but let's turn on our hail sizes there. That's a big one. You've got maybe not exactly the brightest colors there. There aren't any purples and pinks that are showing up there just yet. But what this does mean is it's probably have been cycling. So if you kind of back up here, you can kind of see its lifespan here. It's gotten pretty strong, kind of hails itself out, then kind of gets a little strong again. So this one is maybe just cycling here with this. So let's go back to our warnings. We've got the warning now that we have until 6 o'clock. And this one is now in Menard, Sangamon counties. Still an observed tag with this one. And we're going to put a track on it. Still moving off to the east at around 30 miles an hour. So let me put another track on it. Put it kind of right there from the notch. And again, we've been showing these things, showing the kind of path with this storm here the past couple times. Even if your city is not called out, please be in your safe spot. The Springfield Airport, as it goes through kind of the northern side of town there. Clear Lake, and also in Springfield itself too. Be sure that you're in your safe spot. Clear Lake at 6 o'clock, 6:17, Mechanicsburg, 6:30, Mount Pulaski, and Niantic, 6:39. Again, this is if it's still moving off to the east at 30 miles an hour. These will obviously kind of change our speed there, as it could potentially be increasing in strength. Sometimes they speed up, sometimes they slow down a little bit too. These times are approximate. Still, though, make sure that you are in your safe spot. We are kind of doing some things here in the back end, so I'm going to keep on going here with it. This line of storms is the southern end of a line of showers and storms that go all the way up into Wisconsin. And the reason why we are focusing in so much on the southern end of these storms, this line of storms, is because there's nothing down here to impede these storms from gobbling up a lot of energy. They are able to remain very strong because of the fact that they're able to get all this unused air. The sunshine came out, it is very warm, it is very humid, and as a result of that, they have been able to strengthen here. And so that's what we have right now. Usually it's the case where you have a line of storms that the southern tip of it is going to be the strongest one. That's what we have. We also have to watch out for still these little cells down off just outside of our viewing area, because these ones are still in an area that is untouched. This is an area that's got the potential here for these storms to get strong, so we're going to have to watch out for that one. So we got our warning for Jacksonville, the Jacksonville area there. This one goes until 6:15 for Morgan counties. That one is your standard 60-mile-per-hour winds as well as 1-inch in diameter hail. Going on up, you've got our tornado warnings for Cass, Menard, Morgan, Sangamon counties for the next 2 minutes with that warning, and then our main one here until 6 o'clock for Menard and Sangamon counties, with also big hail too with those ones. And then we have this northern storm. This northern storm is a severe thunderstorm warning. However, there is also a kind of essentially an asterisk with this one, with tornado possible. It's got 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch in diameter hail. And the reason why that is the case is because sometimes within these little notches, within these little kind of in and out sections there of the initial line of the storm, you can get some circulation that does bubble up along there. And sometimes you can get a brief little circulation, a brief little tornado that could happen. So that's why we are looking out for that to be the case there with the tornado possible tag on those storms. We've got them all kind of moving off to the east or so at around 30 to 40 miles an hour, give or take. And the hail remains an issue with the tornado warned storm right just to the north of Salisbury, very close now, just off to the west of Athens, and that's also where the tornado warning is too. So that's where the large hail is. Again, you can kind of see it's on the northwestern edge of the Springfield metro area, just outside of the Sangamon County area, and we're going to continue to see how these ones progress here. So again, we've got these essentially 3 warnings for storms here. Now, these are not very fast-moving storms. They're pretty slow. And so as a result of that, we're going to likely see definitely a lot of rain with that one, too. Jacob's going to take over now. He's got some good pictures of the Springfield Flooring America iNet camera as the wall cloud is pretty close.
Yeah, let's take a look at that here, Jack. And if you can help me out, Jack, I've got on Max 1 for Jack only here to move that around and look here. We're looking at that base of the storm as it approaches the Springfield area, and we're going to watch closely here. Jack, we're going to have a great vantage point of this if it drops down. So I'd like to pan a little more to the left as we look a little more west, northwest, and then I'd like to pan a little bit back here as far as it goes. Again, we're looking on that camera there. You can kind of see where this rain-free base is here, looking off to the north and west of Springfield. This here is a dark area that's that Jacksonville storm. So we're primarily looking off here more in a north and northwest direction. The reason I can tell that, the flag on top of the Capitol building there, that is a south wind in place. I just looked at the observation. Springfield Airport reports 75 with the dew point is 64. It's juicy. The atmosphere has instability. We've gotten just enough sunshine today to kick things off with a bang, and that's where we're going. Jack, if we can, let's pan a little more to the right just to make sure we're looking at everything here and getting a full vantage point of this as far as it goes. And we want to watch and keep an eye on that here again. Our weather cameras that we've got, fantastic to have. We love being able to partner with communities and businesses to have those here, and we're really thankful for the Flooring America Weather iNet camera here. So if we can, then we'll take a little more of a right turn here before long, and then I want to show you some video in a second of that as we continue to watch and look in this rain-free base here as far as it goes. Again, this is north and northwest of Springfield. It's likely heading towards now Sherman, eventually making it towards Williamsville here as we watch this rain-free base. No indication of anything down now, but if it does go down, we're going to have a great vantage point of this right here. Now, if you look in the back here, we're getting that focus to make sure it's looking good here. The back, you see some of those light shades of gray. That's the large hail from this supercell thunderstorm. Again, they're warning this for hail that's the size of tennis balls with that. And we've had a couple of reports of some hail in parts of Cass County of up to ping pong ball size hail as this storm now knocking on the doorstep of Sherman and Williamsville with some very large hail. I expect momentarily a new tornado warning to come out. That will probably be southern Logan, northeastern Sangamon County for that one here as we continue to watch as far as it goes. Real quick, Jack, before I send it back to you, this came from Andrew Pritchard. This was as the storm was near Pleasant Plains, and you can see this is what that circulation is right here. Look at that twisting. You can see the motion of that rotating wall cloud. And this spin up right here gives us an indication that there is a tornado that made contact with the ground, even though we don't see a condensation funnel in place. Perhaps what's happening is the air just a little dry for this storm to fully condense down, but with that ground circulation, that's enough confidence is why we have this confirmed tornado warning that's in effect. As far as it goes elsewhere in the region, as we continue to watch this Springfield camera here, as those clouds are really whipping around here, likely that new warning will come out momentarily. I want to mention, if you're watching us at home, you got folks that live near Sherman, Williamsville, places like that, you'll want to send them a text. We're all in this together here, letting folks know what's going on. We're focusing only on the areas that are impacted. That means Champaign-Urbana, nothing going on right now. It's a nice evening here, but these storms are moving in our general direction as we continue to watch that camera. So if we can in the back, before we send it back to Jack, even if we put the Skycam in a small box, I want to keep our eyes on this on air as much as we can, and that way we are constantly watching it. If something drops, we'll see it, we'll bring it full. Very important to us at this point to use those weather iNet cameras to the maximum extent here, especially with such a great vantage point on this storm, as it now is located due north of Springfield, between Springfield and Athens. The large hail from Sherman to Williamsville going to cause some problems in the interstate there as far as it goes. So again, Jack, I'm going to send it back to you, but Control, we'll double box this if we can and have that ready to go, because we're going to have a great shot here if something does drop down just to the north of Springfield. And we'll watch it, Jack. We'll get you on here with an update that's probably coming any second now, but there's some motion that's under there. That's why we want to keep our eyes on it, right, Jack?
That's right. Yep. And let's take a look at get our velocity up here. It's been a little bit since we've looked at that. Yeah. So we've got the circulation here. I'd say right about there. It's looks a little messy. Looks a little messy with our velocity, but you've got our area of broad rotation, and we still have seen the observed tag on this storm as it moves off to the east. So our velocity is probably right about there somewhere. And so maybe even a few other little spin-up zones here. It's not exactly the clearest view with that. But as you can see, you've got some of those different colors there representing the winds going towards and away from the radar. But you also have some of the brighter colors as well, either a brighter red or a brighter green or a darker red, signifying that there's going to be some stronger winds within this as well, too. Also, our hail as well, still going to be an issue there. Again, just to the north of the airport, right there, right by Green Acres, just south of Athens is a large hail core that's approaching and it's probably over parts of Illinois 29. So this is going to be an issue with our storm, too, the hail issues there. So we're going to keep on watching this. Let me save a couple of these views here. That way we don't get lost. And there we go. So we still have our 3 warnings. Our 3 warnings. And again, the reason why we're seems like we're going a little slow, might be kind of wondering, well, they're saying the same things. We're just kind of waiting for the latest updates. That being said, though, is that when you have a confirmed tornado on the ground, we've got to watch it. Our Springfield camera, we're still keeping an eye on it. This is going to provide us with an amazing view of this storm.
And what's amazing about these two, Jack, is how normally sometimes storms roll through.
And we can put it up right now, guys, the Skycam.
Yeah, I think they're trying to work on the double box in the back, so do what you need to, and we can get that figured out. If you can, don't use the Weather Max computer as a source. If we can use the Weather Metrics, the Skycam source instead, that way we can still have access to both computers. That's the same shot, though. The view, though, really stellar on here. If you're ahead of the storm, though, we still want you to take shelter. We'll show you it on TV with this camera. We'll have to be able to follow it there. We've been seeing some little fingers trying to dip down and keep an update as far as it goes. But likely, Jack, I'm assuming that new tornado warning coming any moment.
We've got a trained weather spotter from Athens reported to Sherman Fire Department, to the Sherman Emergency Manager. Tornado on the ground at Irvin River Bridge and Cantrell Creek Roads.
And what I'm going to do here, Jack, is that earlier video made me believe that maybe we're seeing a ground circulation and not having a condensation funnel.
Yeah.
And so we're really going to zoom in here and take a look and see what's going on. Now, notice it's really shaky. I wish I could do something about that, but I know y'all have complained about the wind, and we're going to complain about it here too, but there's something that has my eye in that particular shot as we're looking in Springfield in that area. And maybe as we look here, if we can pull me onto the chroma key real fast, maybe that's going to be right in here, something trying to come down. It's a little shaky, but we're having a view. Ideally, we'd see something make it all the way. But with the emergency management, the fire department reporting a tornado down there by Cantrell Road, that's going to be an issue for this particular storm. So we've got a view. We're looking at it. There may very well be a circulation under here. This is about 10 to 15 miles north of town as far as it goes, Jack. So we're going to watch that here and keep an eye on it as far as it goes. We'll say this, just some housekeeping notes, Jack, before we got that new warning that just came out here. For the back, we're going to continue on through the newscast, but as long as our newsroom is watching for reports on social media, keeping things updated, that'll be helpful. I know they're doing a great job behind us. We're going to be cutting through the 6 o'clock show here, it seems like, with this new tornado warning. Then we're going to have meteorologist Jack Griffin cover at the weather pod. And he's going to break it down, talk about who's in, who's out, what we're seeing. Still a hail and a tornado threat with this particular storm as far as it goes. So, Jack, I'm going to toss it to you in the weather pod if we can, and we'll use that as far as it goes. So, Jack, what's up with this new warning?
Okay, so new warnings coming in here, and we've got it as still a tornado warning. Now, what we're going to do here is, when you can kind of see it here, you've got the different colors there. So the new warning is a red tornado warned box, which means that it is radar indicated. That's a little bit of a difference there than the kind of the purple one that we had for the observed one. Radar indicated means that there's not necessarily one currently on the ground. The observed one means that we have seen it. Either the radar is picked up on debris lofted up into the air, or someone has spotted it. And that was the case before someone had spotted it. So with this new warning, right now it goes until 6:15, Logan, Menard, Sangamon counties, radar indicated, but this storm obviously has a history of producing tornadoes, and also for large hail as well. This one's moving off to the east now at around 35 miles an hour. So with the tornado and potentially golf ball sized hail with this storm, moving off to the east at around 35 miles an hour. I'm going to put another track on it from the area that we need to do right there, and go 35 miles an hour. So Riverton area coming in at just before 6 o'clock at 5:59. We've got Mechanicsburg 6:13. We've got Illiopolis coming in at 6:26. Booty at 6:45, and then if it holds together, the Decatur area coming in at around 6:53. So that's going to be one of the things that we'll have to look out for is, can it still hold together to keep on going closer and closer into more of the central portions of our viewing area. Right now it's been pretty much more of a western storm, a western show here with it. So zooming out, you've got still our small little thunderstorm warning for parts of just off to the west now, or just off to the east now, Jacksonville, north of Alexander, from Morgan County until 6:15. You got a few more minutes left of that one. We've got our new tornado warnings with this one for Logan, Menard, Sangamon counties until 6:15. And we've got still have our severe thunderstorm warning with the potential for a tornado to be impacted or embedded in there, I should say, for Logan, Mason, and Menard counties. These are our storms here. They are moving off to the east at around 40 miles an hour. They're very close to the radar, so we're going to have a great view of these with everything that we need to see with them. Our velocity, as you can see, we've got, again, a little bit of the couplet here showing up in terms of our inbound and outbound winds right there, kind of right over the Sherman area there, that we might have the rotation being picked up by our radar. And also our hail, too, is going to be large right over the Sherman area, too. So latest update just came on through for the hail core. Looks like that one has kind of shrunk a little bit. It's a little bit smaller. But velocity still remains there as the inbound and outbound winds going into the radar, which is in Lincoln, and going away from the radar, how we have those, that area of rotation there. Again, we have this new warning is now for radar indication. So that's why we have our, that's why we have that as a red box showing up as the fact that the storm is capable of producing a tornado. There's not one being seen currently as of the moment. Now, as you can see with our double boxes here, we have our Skycam up with our Flooring America INET camera from Springfield, again, providing us a great vantage point of the storm, which is off to essentially straight to the north of Springfield. Now, that's the one that we are watching for. Now, a little bit more to the northeast with our storm, and that's where we're looking at with our Flooring America INET camera. It's been showing a lot of interesting cloud shapes, as well as what we were most notably looking at was the lowering of the base, the wall cloud where you have a tornado, that's where it comes out of. And that's what we have and basically have looking at right now. So great view from our Springfield camera, but we're gonna keep on trucking on with our warnings. Jacob, you're in the back, everything good back there?
Yeah, we're just kind of making sure we've got to keep that camera up as much as we can, because doing some focusing and making sure it's working and whatnot here, so it may get a little blurry at times, but if something happens, we're going to see it right here live on TV as far as it goes. We will be hearing from Mark Maxwell soon, more than likely. He's in Springfield. Of course, now we can start giving some all clear, I think, to Springfield as this moves well north of town, but we're going to watch that closely here and to keep an eye on it. So we haven't had any damage reports, but there still is reports of rotation with this particular storm as it pushes off to the east. Real quick, Jack, if we can, I'd like to give an all clear to folks that live on 29 north of Springfield from this particular storm. This now located on 124 just south of Sherman, about ready to cross I-55. That camera looking up in that general direction as far as it goes. And so we'll watch that there. Keeping an eye on those other storms as well. The storm now to the east of Jacksonville is near Alexander exit. That's Highway 123 and 72. Still has some hail. Not overly concerned about it right now for tornado, as you're still watching those storms coming into Logan County. We're watching for you, Lincoln. We're watching for you, Broadwell. We're keeping an eye on you in New Holland, Illinois 10, I-55 by the I-155 split, Lincoln area. We'll watch that and see if there's an update, but primarily the focus will be for what we're looking at on TV now with the storm in northern Sangamon County. In fact, before I send it back to you, Jack, they did just drop that Morgan County thunderstorm warning near Alexander. So, Jack.
And then also, too, we've also have just another minute or two left of the initial severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag on it. The Logan, Mason, Menard County one, the northern warning, that one is going to be expiring here within the next minute or so as well. And it's getting very close to the radar. In fact, if you wouldn't mind taking my Max 2 up full screen here just for a brief little second, we kind of want to show a very interesting feature here. Since the radar is so close, it's able to kind of bend the bands of our storm a little bit. So it looks a little weird as it approaches the Lincoln area. So that's what we're going to be looking out for to potentially kind of obscure the view of what is actually happening. It's great that these storms are close to the radar. However, if it goes, if it's too close, and if it goes right over the radar, then we kind of lose it. There's the cone that we can't really see it through. So that's why it's kind of bending around. Looks really weird right there because the storm is approaching the radar. So we've got, okay, there we go. So everything's now cleared out. We now are left with currently just one warning. The warning for Logan, Menard, Sangamon counties that goes until 6:15. This one is radar indicated, and it still has very large hail with it as well. Most of the hail has been located nearby the Sherman area, and now currently it's actually just a little bit off to the east of Sherman. Just actually to the north of Riverton, actually, is where the hail core is looking to be at its most intense. You've got our velocity coming up here, and this one has now a little bit of a better view here. You've got a definite mixture here. Maybe we can take me full screen. There we go. Thank you. We've got the mixture there of our reds and our greens. That is our rotation, and we've got them pretty close. So that's actually a very good-looking rotation on our radar-indicated tornado warning right there. So very close to the Sherman area. And really quick, just don't want to forget about where we are at here. I am going to put a track on it. Things are still moving to between about 30 and 40 miles an hour. It's about 35, so let me put another track on that. Okay, and let me just name these cities here really fast, and then we're going to give it to control because they've actually got Mark Maxwell on the line. So Mechanicsburg 615, Illiopolis 626, Booty 645, and if it goes all the way to Decatur 653 in the airport at just before 7 o'clock. We're going to go now to our very own Mark Maxwell. He's on the phone, and he's going to be able to explain what, or he's actually live, excuse me. He's actually live, and he's going to have an update there. Mark, what have you seen so far?
West side of Springfield, just near the Abraham Lincoln Capitol Airport, just outside. We saw some strong, menacing winds and clouds, rather, just move into this side of the outskirts of town about 10 minutes ago. Right on the tail edge of that, you're seeing now the effects with all the rain that is starting to come down. And these raindrops are big. They're pelting windshields right now. I'm watching drivers pump the brakes, take it a little bit slower than they normally would. The rain has relented here in the last 2 or 3 minutes a little bit. It was coming down a lot harder just a minute ago, but our eyes are on the skies as we watch with those tornado warnings to see what might come down. We were actually heading out farther west to see what the weather might have looked like out near Ashland or those areas when we started to see just the menacing clouds sweeping through this area. So we set up shop here on Veterans Parkway, again, just on the outskirts of the town, about 10 minutes from downtown Springfield here. We heard tornado warnings, or those sirens rather, going off, I would say maybe 15, 20 minutes ago, roughly. And it's moving through here pretty quickly on the heels of that siren. That's just a look at some of the visuals. We've sent in some of the video from a few minutes ago. You may have some of that, but that's what the scene looks like here so far. We have not spotted from our vantage point any kind of a funnel cloud or anything like that, but we are out here keeping an eye on what we can see from our vantage point to be the most aggressive formation of the storm.
Thank you, Mark. And again, we're going to really appreciate your actual eyes on what you've seen there. And if we get any information in terms of any damage, we're going to let you know, and we'll be able to then potentially get that information out to the public in the form of some pictures. And as always, send us our pictures, WCIA.com. We've got our stream going on there as well if you're not nearby your TV. And so we're just going to keep on going. 6:03, I know normally we'd be on our newscast right now, but again, with a storm with a tornado warning on it, and at times has had a confirmed tornado report along with it. This is a dangerous storm. We had to keep our eye on it. We're going to be kind of tweaking back and forth our weather camera from our Flooring America iNet camera from Springfield to be able to get vantage points here, and also to making sure that we provide you with any more updates. Right now, Jacob, this is the only warning I've got, and I don't think we're really going to see much else here for a little bit. The interesting thing is that the storms are kind of going right over the radar currently in Lincoln. So we're essentially kind of it's our blind spot. And so we're going to kind of see how those storms go through the Lincoln area. But Jacob, we're going to go over to you now at the green screen. You've got some latest information there.
Yeah, we're continuing to watch this. I just wanted to mention this one warning you talked about, Jack, here. Has crossed I-55 about where the Sherman exit is here. Of course, there's the old 66 split there. You've got Highway 54 that takes you to the north and to the east. Highway 54 runs up to Mount Pulaski. Folks that live in that area are under the warning. Be to the north of Mechanicsburg, along and north of Interstate 70. What you're seeing here on the left is, on the right of your TV, I should say, my left, your right, is that Skycam in Springfield, that weather camera, and we're keeping our eyes on that. I'd like to suggest, Jack, that maybe the storm is either cycling or starting to weaken just a little bit by looking at some things. And I'm going to switch around some of the products here to kind of give you another view of why I think that may be the case. You still have that hook there, and this is still a dangerous storm, but more than likely it may be cycling. What we've got here, these greens showing in, I think that may be some inflow that's picking up a little bit with that particular tornado warning, and so that's something that may mean we kind of go down and then we come back up. We play this game of cyclic supercell thunderstorm as far as it goes, as this storm moves more to the north and east of the camera there as far as it goes. I want to say areas west of I-55, we can give it the all clear. That's including the airport, Athens. We've got Highway 29. That looks like Highway 124. Pretty much west of 55 is good from this storm. There is more heavy rain moving in, perhaps some lightning there, but our one warning is for this one here. And I would like to put a bug in newscast that what may happen is if this trends, we may go back to the newscast. That's a fair possibility at this point. And if that were to happen, just for some housekeeping purposes, we'll go to a commercial break and then come back. But still, we're staying here until this storm is either no longer warned or the storm itself dissipates. One of the two we hope happens, but with the atmosphere that's in place today, may not be what we look at. I'm going to look here at our debris tracker. We haven't really used it much because we haven't seen anything on it, but it's a great tool for us to kind of peek at and get an idea here. These colors of reds, pretty solid indication that there's no debris being lofted. You see these blues here, I think that's inflow that's being pulled in maybe, so we'll have to watch and see if this doesn't cycle back up. But that red color, especially in the area of that hook echo, really what it tells us is that all of the particles that the radar beam is sampling are correlated. They're all the same. There's no indication of things being lofted that are damaged or debris, anything like that. And then we've got the camera that's behind me here that we're still watching, the fantastic vantage point. In fact, right now, if you look at this camera, you start seeing some raindrops coming across the screen as some other showers are rolling into the Springfield area. And so I'll go ahead and just pop that back and we'll give a view of the area here. Just to make sure, yeah, some showers and rolling into Springfield as far as it goes here. On the back side, not warned, just some rain as far as it goes, some thunder and lightning. The severe thunderstorm now is located with the possible tornado located over and perhaps a little east of Highway 54, Illinois 54. It starts at the State Fairgrounds, goes all the way up to the north and east, takes you all the way up to Interstate 57 if you want to take that here. And the feature that I think maybe this is not done yet, Jack, where that inflow is here, I'll zoom in. If I can get my finger on the right one here. Using a computer on the roll here to make things happen. What we'll do is if we can bring me full screen real quick before we toss to Jack, and that way I can just kind of point out some of those things here. We're not really getting a classic big-time severe weather signature from these. These are more low precipitation, low top type of thunderstorms as far as it goes. Not necessarily low top, but low precipitation. So we don't see a lot of rain wrapping around, but if you can make out right there, maybe that hook echo indicating that maybe that circulation somewhere in here. It's awfully messy. It's hard to tell, but we're watching that. There's that rain-free base, that blue color we were looking, that inflow coming in here. So very much along Interstate 72 and north of that could be seeing some of that as a possibility. As I check some of my other products, pretty much right now, right over Dawson or right over right to the west of Buffalo. Be near Riverton, stay in your shelter. Spalding, stay in your shelter. Old US 36, that takes you into Decatur, stay in your shelter. Williamsville, I think we can give you an all clear from this storm. Sherman as well. Spalding and Riverton, give me a couple more minutes just to make sure we're clearing it to the east. But then right here you've got Dawson, you've got Buffalo right there. This is Old 36. There's Interstate 72, that is. Mechanicsburg is right there. Springfield just off to the left of the screen. And so we'll watch this tornado threat closely here. The one warning we have, and we'll stay with it here as far as it goes. Other than that, Jack, just some other showers and thunderstorms rolling on through parts of Logan County and down to the south. We're continuing to watch that rotation with this particular storm here. This is the one we're going to focus on and we're going to keep with there for now. But Jack, you're watching other things. You're watching rotation. The hail and wind also is an issue with this. Tell us more about what you're seeing from your vantage point.
Yep. So I got velocity pulled up right now. And again, we've been kind of pointing out the fact that maybe it's trying to do a little bit of some cycling here. We still have our inbound and our outbound winds, the reds and the greens close together, signifying that there could be some circulation. That's the reason why we have this tornado warning. But we have the continuation here of this warning for another 6 minutes. We're still calling it a radar-indicated tornado warning. There has been a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located over Cornland or 14 miles northeast of Springfield, still moving to the east at around 35 miles an hour. And another local storm report just came in 2 miles west-northwest of Pleasant Plains. That was actually at 5:30 reported a tornado. So we're starting to get some more information about what has happened in the past. We'll still keep watching for brand new updates here. But we technically only have 5 more minutes left of our tornado warning. And we've got a pretty interesting picture here from Springfield as off to the distance you still have some of your sunset, but you have the heavy rain hitting the city right now, the winds blowing around our camera on top of the building there looking at the Capitol as that storm is coming on through. These are just the rain showers. The tornado warned portion of it is now to the northeast of Springfield. But definitely kind of that circulation is probably just north of I-72, not by a little bit, just a few miles there. We've got it very close to probably the east of the Barclay area, to the northeast of Riverton. And this thing is still moving off to the east at around 35 miles an hour. So we'll still put a track on it to make sure that, don't forget about that safe space. Make sure you're in your spot right now. If you're nearby these locations, Mechanicsburg at 6:15, Illiopolis at 6:29, Booty at 6:46, potentially Decatur at 6:54, and then Long Creek at 7:02, should it still keep on holding together. But the latest kind of look here with our velocity, and I'm gonna minimize that, and just kind of essentially go back in time with our velocity. It's might not be looking as impressive as it once did before. We had a lot better view there, and now especially it's looking to be potentially weakening even a little bit more. So we're going to keep on watching this. Could it be a cycle where it kind of comes back and forth? It definitely could be, but it's definitely seen a weakening trend here with that. But we're still watching that. We're still watching the hail threat with that one too. Again, just off to the north of I-72, kind of north of Mechanicsburg there, a nasty hail core that's going to be kind of right there along Illinois 54 between Spalding and Lake Fork. That area there has got a large area of some pretty intense hail. We're going to keep on watching that one too. But we have another 3 minutes left of our warning, and our warning goes until 6:15. Still also want to keep an eye on any spots down the line too. If this becomes more of a severe thunderstorm warning, which potentially could happen here, it may still have the tornado possible tag on it, which means that still a tornado could be possible with it. But Jacob, you've got a few more little tidbits of information here.
Quad shot and show you a little more of this radar. Again, we're kind of getting as many different looks as this as we can, using different products, different radars, different views, and of course looking at reports. That circulation, Jack, here, you kind of make it out. It does look a lot weaker.
Yeah.
These reds and greens, though, still an indication something going right over 130, old 36, that is, between Dawson and Buffalo. Downstream, then Lanesville, even Mechanicsburg. You're in that polygon. We'd like you to take shelter. At this point, Spalding, Riverton, Springfield, all clear for you from this particular storm. There are more off to the south and west, not warned. We'll watch it. Highway 54 for Buffalo Heart up towards Lake Fork, Mount Pulaski, all clear for you. This primarily now coming into the eastern part of Sangamon County from Dawson to the east. And you mentioned, Jack, downstream, Decatur in that last update. If it does make it that far, we did switch our cameras from Springfield to Decatur there, and when we send it back to you, Jack, we'll be able to look at that. Just wanted to let you know that as far as it goes. Real quick, I'm going to try and pull up another picture from my dad. He is out there now sending me updates. In fact, this is what's interesting to me here, Jack, is this may be the tornado. Notice right here, this
Where's that at?
It's hard to see. If we could bring that full screen perhaps in the Max computer, what we'll do here, and he's calling me because I think we've got something down. So if we can bring Max 1 full screen so we can look at this in detail a little more, and then I'll send this to the news image. You're looking there in the center at what may be a ground circulation, perhaps underneath that wall cloud as far as it goes. So this may very well be a new tornado. You can see that's Interstate 72 right there, Jack. That's going to be, I think, the Spalding or downstream for that exit. So more than likely, we've got another tornado down with that. I'm going to call him real quick, Jack. I'll send it back to you. We'll keep that Decatur camera up, and I'll report what we've got.
Yep, because we got a new warning right now anyways, so we can take it now onto Max 2, so we don't have to watch his screen. He's calling the mayor of Gibson City. So Storm Tracker Doppler, we've got our new warning on it for... again, this is now down in our southern part of our viewing area from Macoupin County until 7 o'clock, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This one has just kind of popped up here. It's a little bit of a stronger one. Kind of putting the loop on it, you can tell that it wasn't very much of a storm, and then, boom, it did kind of get pretty strong there initially. So these are kind of picking up in intensity. Zooming out, you've got it as the southern storm. And in fact, now that it's 6:15, we have our tornado warning has been taken away for our storm. It's not being replaced with anything yet. We're going to wait and see what happens with this one. But we've had, this storm has had numerous reports of tornadoes with it. And so we're just going to kind of hold on here for just a moment. I know we don't have a tornado warning currently, but I want to see what the National Weather Service does. If they give it just a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag with it, if they give us a new warning, I'm just going to try to kind of wait here for just a few more moments. This has been on the southern end of a long line of showers and storms that have gone up to the state line. For locations that are not, we've been talking a lot about the Springfield area currently. You can see that there's just regular rain showers from essentially McLean County to the north. So we're going to be looking at some of the thunderstorms to be entering portions of Macon County, DeWitt County, Piatt counties here pretty soon. This storm has kind of turned a little bit more to the east-southeast, which sometimes is indicative. Okay, here we go. An observed tornado for now, Logan, Macon, Sangamon counties until 6:45. So, guys, unfortunately here with the newscast, we're going to be on this one for a bit longer. Thank you for holding down the fort and staying with us. Was this report from the mayor?
Jack, it may have been, but there's another chaser that reported too. So I'm going to get a video, and when I get that, we're going to show that. So hopefully he will send me the video as quickly as we can. This confirmed tornado near Mechanicsburg, Jack. It was cycling up here as far as it goes, and that is going to include parts of far northern Christian and Macon County. So let's talk about who is in and who's out, and I'll try and get that video and keep updated on there as far as it goes.
I'll keep on going. So again, this is the velocity. Again, it's still not exactly the greatest looking couplet there, but it's there, and it's been able to produce what we think has been potentially a weak tornado, but a tornado nonetheless. And so this one goes now until 6:45, and this one is moving off to the east at around 35 miles an hour. So the 35-mile-per-hour approximation is a good one to use here with this one. So here we go with our tracker. And so Illiopolis, 628, Booty, 644, Decatur, 652, 658 at the Decatur Airport, and then 712 in LaPlace if it keeps on going on through. We're going to be keeping an eye on this storm. It's been able to spin up tornadoes at times. It's also got some large hail with it too. Still just to the north of I-72, right there nearby the Illiopolis area, the Barclay area, just to the east of Barclay and Riverton by a few miles. That is where we are looking at our hail core to be the largest with this one. But still with the velocity here, you've got the inbound and the outbounds. They're very strong winds regardless. But just the couplet that's being picked up there. Again, it's not exactly the best looking one, but it's there. It's there. And we'll turn on our regular radar view here to show you still that got that little inflow notch that you can still kind of see there. That inflow notch is like the picture of that Jacob showed was very, very close to the interstate, just to the north of the interstate. So there's a little inflow notch right there. That's where our tornado most likely would be. That's why we have seen some reports not only from just a couple spotters. We've actually seen reports of confirmed tornadoes there. So that's why the National Weather Service is keeping on with this warning as it goes. Again, until 6:45, observed tornado. Let's see here. What else can we show? A lot of lightning with these storms, too. These storms have been prolific lightning makers. Also some heavy rains as well. But you can still see it's still off on the western side of our viewing area. So these storms are not moving very fast. They've been moving around anywhere between 30 and 40 miles an hour. And this one has 35-mile-per-hour winds with it. The National Weather Service also is going to continue our severe thunderstorm watch until 9 o'clock, too. Just want to pass that along as well. But, Jacob, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm looking at the key if I can here and show you that photo again one more time. I just talked to Dad. He says he's watching 2 areas of circulation. This is that photo. We're going to post this on our Facebook page. It came from my dad. He's out there. Dad and I have chased for years together here in central Illinois. He's sitting at 72 following this. Says there may be 2 areas of circulation. What you're looking at right here, that circulation on the ground, it looks like it's perhaps just to the north. From that vantage point, as I zoom out a little bit, it looks like it's just to the north side of 72. Interstate 72, this thing is moving to the east, coming down the road towards Haines and Illiopolis. In fact, in Illiopolis, here's the movie. I'm going to play that movie real quick if I can and see if we can get that. So here you can see it right there. This just came in from eastern Sangamon County of the circulation, the tornado down. There it is. Look at those cars on I-72. We want nobody driving from Decatur to Springfield. This confirmed tornado now from my dad. He's out there, and there you can see it, Jack. Look how impressive that is here.
Oh, yeah.
Of that circulation. Now, notice there's nothing making contact to the ground, but we know it's spinning up here. It's a little dry for the circulation. This is new video we're just watching right now of that tornado that's down here, the confirmed tornado from the National Weather Service. You don't want to be driving like these folks are here. So we're looking at this at the same time as you are. This confirmed tornado now in Sangamon County. In fact, I'll play it one more time before we send it back to you, Jack, this video. And then if I can, either Paul or Jennifer, I'll airdrop this to you, and news can take this from us and watch this. Look at that. That circulation now of what's a tornado down now in eastern Sangamon County. This is just moments ago. You're seeing this as we've gotten it, literally less than 5 minutes ago here, heading towards Illiopolis. If you're in Illiopolis, the time is now to shelter from this storm downstream. Niantic, Harristown, Mount Auburn, Osborneville, I should say, just in west of Decatur. But Decatur, this is coming your way as far as this goes. So we want to watch this circulation very closely. We know it's producing tornadoes. It's produced a number of them, Jack. We've had, I think, up to 3 or 4 reports already here from this one tornadic storm all by itself, and likely this is going to continue going through the area. So I'm going to send it back to you, Jack. We'll get this distributed on our digital platforms. But I got to say, if you know anyone west of Decatur towards Niantic, Harristown, Illiopolis especially, and along 72 towards the south, then this tornado is down, we need you to take shelter, as we've seen just now video of that. Jack?
Yep, so the warning now, Christian, Logan, Macon, Sangamon counties, what it's maybe doing here is it's going to be taking it probably very close to the Decatur area right now. We're kind of noticing it's almost kind of turning a bit more to the southeast, which for the storm motion, when the storm itself turns right, that usually means that it's beginning to strengthen a little bit. And since the warning was now pretty much straight east and now might be turning a bit more with a southerly component with it as well, that makes sense that we now have another reconfirmed tornado report with it. The storm is probably recycling and has been able to strengthen up enough to drop circulation on the ground. So that's why we're going to time things out here once again. We've got our beautiful Carriage Crossings weather camera up on our Flooring America iNet from Decatur. That's going to be now the next camera that we're going to be keeping an eye on as the storm approaches from that direction there. We're going to keep an eye on that one. Right now the skies are very dark. The reason being now is that as we've going into close to 6:30, the sun's setting in the west. The sunshine is running into the backside of that cloud of the storm itself, giving it that nice dark appearance there. And we can't really observe anything just yet on it. Maybe we can maybe see a shelf cloud potentially, maybe even a ragged wall cloud with that one. It'll be easier to tell once it gets closer to us. But that's the view that we're going to be watching out for. Again, the areas that are of concern for us with this tornado-warned storm, with that center of circulation, that circulation there probably right there on I-72, honestly. It's going to be, if it is, just off to the north of it, but it's very close to the interstate. Please, if you're in these areas, Mechanicsburg, you still got to be kind of watching out for things, Illiopolis especially, Niantic, Harristown, Mount Auburn, Osborneville, and I'm going to put a track on it with the 35-mile-per-hour speed on it. Okay, let me just name off these locations, Scott, then I'll give it back to you for another report from Mark Maxwell. Illiopolis 632, 651 for Booty, 658 for Decatur, the Decatur Airport at 705, and LaPlace at 720. If you live nearby these areas, also be sure that you're in your safe spot right now as the storm has once again another confirmed tornado report with it. But we're going to go to our very own Mark Maxwell. He is in Springfield as well again. Or he's in Sherman, excuse me. And Mark, what do you see?
Jack, the one thing we've observed here is just how erratic the storm has developed. Right now, our cameraman is going to look this way. You can follow me here and see just how bright the sunset would have been. That's on this side of town. It was raining pretty hard here a few moments ago. It has relented. We're just on the northern tip of what we can see. We're some fast-moving clouds. You may see some spotty lightning behind me. Check on this side of town. Literally just the other side of the parking lot, you see how dark it's getting, and a lot of these clouds were moving farther along. As you and Jacob have reported closer into Illiopolis, north of Decatur in that region. So we're on the northern tip of this, just in Sherman. We were coming down this way. You've seen some evidence of basketball goals being toppled. Not much more evidence of any kind of strong wind damage than that. But again, just noting how quickly the circumstances are changing on the ground. So you're watching this broadcast, wondering what's going on. That's why Jacob and Jack are there to kind of keep an eye on where these things are heading next. It's quite stunning just how quickly it evolved here. It was gone and here and gone before you really knew it, Jack.
Appreciate the live reporting there, Mark. We have all of our tools here in the studio, but when it comes to actually what's happening on the ground, your report as well as the report from Mayor Dickey has been very important as well, showing you why that we are on these storms and unfortunately breaking through the newscast, but providing you with this information because these storms have been producing actual real tornadoes.
Jack, I gotta say real quick. I just gotta say real quick, Jack. We keep calling him Mayor Dickey. He's my dad. Let's just.
I'm just being.
And Dad and I have been chasing together for a long time. We don't want folks just going out and grabbing video of this because this is a dangerous storm. My dad and I, we've trained for this. We've been, chasing for over 20 years together. He's well aware of where he is and what he's doing as we watch this come to Decatur. And I think, Jack, at this rate, we're going to keep going probably for the next half an hour and maybe beyond in that. Just wanted to put that in real quick as we watch that radar. So, Jack, I'm going to let you go. We've got stuff in the news pages. We're keeping updated. We're watching your chats as well. So if you've got something there, you can send an email to news@wcia.com if there's any damage reports, any power outage. Let us know what's going on in your neighborhood because we've got this confirmed tornado now approaching Illiopolis. Jack?
And we're going to just keep it on the Decatur camera just for a few more minutes here. I believe, and Jacob, if you get the moment too to potentially back me up here, does that look like a wall cloud or maybe even a shelf cloud at the bottom of it?
You know, Jack, kind of looking at that,
yeah.
My thought is that maybe what we're seeing there is perhaps that circulation. I'm going to zoom in on that. Look,
yeah.
That may be actually a funnel cloud right there. Why don't I use that feature as far as it goes? So good pointing that out here. I've been trying to get some social taken care of and some other things done. Just kind of looking at the other cameras, there's some sunshine in Danville and Charleston, but as I pull this up here, that may very well be the tornado. Potentially, as we've got this confirmed tornado now, these cameras can look a long ways away. And so bear with me as I turn this here.
And those flashes are lightning, so just that's what's going on there.
You know, it looks like that if there is something, that may very well be it right there. And if you want, Jack, I'll walk in front of the chroma key and kind of point it out to viewers really fast. What we're looking at, this may very well be that circulation as far as it goes. So we're watching right here that little hook echo, and I'd like to get that camera up behind me. Let me pull that on the Max computer if I can real fast, Jack. That might be the way to do that. Jack will get that for me here. So real quick before we pull that, Jack, this is a confirmed tornado likely paralleling Interstate 72. Here's Illiopolis, and we're looking to the west now at it. This is, I think it's going to be our wall cloud, Jack. Based on the placement of that, we're looking to the west. We're keeping our eyes on it, and there's something maybe that would be maybe right here. It's a little far away for contrast, but we're going to watch this closely. Keep our eyes on it here. Again, the updraft of the storm right here rotating. You've got your rain and your hail, and this storm's brought some big hail. But I think, Jack, you're right. This is going to be what we have to watch, and we may want to keep double boxing this for a while longer every now and then. Are you seeing what I'm seeing here, Jack, perhaps?
Yeah, no, I definitely do. I definitely do.
If you can, Jack, maybe zoom it in a little bit and see if we can focus
I'm going to try to do that.
To see if anything's down with that as far as it goes. We know this has produced tornadoes. We showed you that video moments ago from Illiopolis. If we can pan in and kind of zoom in a little more here, maybe keep our eye on it as far as it goes. We're going to kind of watch. I tell you what, Jack, that's darn close there. I'm looking right here at that particular one. Now, we want to make sure we are looking wide at that, but the more I look at that, Jack, the more I think that this is...
Yeah, this might be it right here. I'm going to zoom out here just to make sure I got my bearings straight.
I think that's down there, Jack. I'm having a little hard time seeing, or it's darn close. Yeah, you zoom out. Let's get a wide view, make sure we know what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
So here's that rain over here. That's it, Jack. Zoom back in on that.
Yeah, because that's just wanted to give it kind of, when you zoom out, you can kind of get a little bit of a better contrast with it.
Yeah, so you were looking at is this little feature right here. And as we zoom in, again, we're a little far away. It looks like, I can't tell if that's my screen, if something right in here, it may be darn close. If you can pan it, we got time to watch this, too. This is still over in far eastern Sangamon County near Illiopolis. These cameras are great, Jack. I can't say enough great things about our iNet cameras, our Flooring America iNet network here with Carriage Crossing in Decatur, giving us this view, helping us protect our communities that we're watching. We'll watch this a lot more and keep an eye on it here, but you're right. This is definitely going to be a view of that. And if I had to suspect, Jack, based on the track, this came from northern Morgan, southern Cass County, across north of Springfield. It's taking more of a right turn. So while I still think downstream Decatur, Forsyth, we've got to watch down to the south of there. We get down to Macon and Booty and Elwyn and some of those areas further down. This might be heading south side of Decatur and to areas that are, let's see, down by like the, I don't want to rule anyone out ahead of this here. We're going to watch it and keep you updated, but that right turn may be carrying it a little more south than straight east here. So we're going to watch that. So at this point, there's no tornado warning for the city of Decatur. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Jack.
Nope, you're correct.
It is to the west of there as we watch this circulation and keep our eyes on it. It's hard to make it out, but radar at this point is still going to do some good wonders for us as far as what's going on. And so, Jack, I'll let you talk about radar. What we'll do then is I'll get that video back up of that tornado. So, Jack, tell us more about what you're seeing, where this is, and where it's heading.
Yeah, so that the velocity, turning that back on right now, the velocity is And probably in this view, it'll probably be a little bit better to take this one full screen just for a moment. We'll go back to the double box here in a second. But the velocity here, that circulation is now probably south of the interstate, south of I-72 right now. The inbound and the outbound winds there, kind of right there south of Illiopolis, between there and Mount Auburn, likely just to the south of the interstate, if not even, I mean, it's very close to it. It's very close to it. Definitely would not want to be driving between Decatur and Springfield this evening. If you've got to be traveling to Springfield this evening, just wait. Please just wait. We've already talked about the things you should be doing during a tornado warning, and driving is definitely not one of them. But that's going to be our circulation. And like we've been saying, there might be a little bit more of a southern kind of turn with it. The hail sizes themselves are going to be right there by Illiopolis, going to be maxing out there, but the circulation is going to be south of that. And so we still have on our radar, you still do have the inflow notch that you can see there, and here it is again. That circulation, it probably is just south of the interstate, kind of along and just south of that. But it's moving along, essentially right along I-72, and it's still moving off to the east at around 30, 35 miles an hour. But we've been saying is that once these things turn a little bit more to the right, so in this instance it turns a bit more to the southeast, that's usually when you get more of a increase in the strength of the storm. And so that's probably what we've seen here, as well as the fact that we now have had this storm now be reclassified as a tornado warned observed storm here. So we've got more pictures, more video here, and we're going to go to Jacob on the green wall.
Yeah, if we can pull this up. This picture just came from Dad moments ago, Jack. That was what we were looking at.
Yep.
He's west of Decatur near Illiopolis. This is that wall cloud. It's very ragged, a lot of scud under it. It's hard to see if it's down. There's some, looks like either a hill or some trees there. Looks like it's grass, but as I zoom in, that may very well be the tornado we were watching just moments ago live on our Flooring America weather cam. That's right. So Dad's out there watching. So we need to treat this as a serious situation with the tornado down. So first, Jack, what I'd like to do is run through some safety protocols, and then if you don't mind, we can put the radar from Max 2 behind me when I'm done. I think maybe, Jack, we can send a push alert, and we can check our digital, make sure everything's working there while I'm talking some of these tornado safety tips through, if that works for you. As we continue our team coverage, you get the best coverage right here in WCIA from this here. So what we'll do is talk about some of our tornado safety. This is really, listen up, Decatur. We're talking to you right now. This is coming downstream. Start thinking about where you're going to shelter from this confirmed tornado that's north of Mount Auburn, south of Illiopolis, likely just south of 72. That's going to be also eventually Blue Mountain, Macon, Booty, maybe Mount Zion. Some things we'll want to watch here. If you're in a car, no travel on I-72 west of Decatur. No travel to the south of 51 on... no travel south of 51 from Decatur. Eventually, as this storm approaches, you got to get home. You got to start thinking, what are you going to do and where are you going to shelter from this particular storm? If you're in a mobile home, I know folks live in mobile homes. I used to live in one myself. They're great places 360 days out of the year. This is one of those 5 days where a mobile home can be a very dangerous place to be, especially if that tornado is heading in your direction. So again, eventually this is going to be, we were talking to folks east of Mount Auburn, near Harristown, Decatur, Booty, Elwyn. Eventually start thinking about it. Highway 51 or the bypass around Decatur, Highway 48 to the south and east. You start thinking of where you're going. We get into a major area like Decatur, a large open rooms or a manufactured home, particularly the large open rooms. Think a grocery store, big box mart. Not the place to be. You don't want to be trapped in that when a tornado is coming. And what you want to do is avoid the center of that. Sometimes, and it just happens, is people don't plan. They don't have a plan in place of what they're going to do. Sometimes they say, go to the center of the storm. Don't do that. The place to go is to the bathrooms or an enclosed area at the back of the store, the customer service center. That's where you want to be if you happen to be there. You know, someone who's shopping, you want them to definitely come home, Decatur, Macon County, as this storm with a history of several confirmed tornadoes moving in that direction. Manufactured home, not the thing to do. Here's where you want to go. Interior room or a basement of a well-built building is the best place to be for this particular type of event. If you don't have a basement, interior room is going to work just fine. 99% of the time, and even higher than that, about as much as you can. As long as you do something, you'll be okay here. if you got a basement, an interior room, interior bathroom, interior closet, interior hallway of a well-built building, that's one of the great places to be. Tornado shelter or a safe room, also good. Lots of folks here have basements. I grew up had a basement. We spent many May days down in the basement in Gibson City growing up here. That interior room of a well-built building, also an important place to be as far as it goes. I'm going to pull back that video real fast and show it real quick. Again, this was what we saw, the tornado that touched down near Mechanicsburg, moving now it's south and southeast of Illiopolis, south of Niantic. It's right on the river there. If you're familiar in northern Christian County, you got the river south of 72. This circulation was the first thing that we saw of the tornado coming through from my dad, and Jack loves to call him Mayor Dan Dickey. My dad took this. My dad's a trained storm spotter, knows these storms left and right. We've studied meteorology together. We've seen storms. We've chased across the country, and he caught this one here as it moved off to the east and slightly southeast. I think that's going to be more, Jack, based on his location on the bridge, that's going to be more south of the interstate, especially with that tower there, recognizing that from the eastern part of Sangamon County. So again, we talked about tornado safety. What we want you to do, again, is a tornado warning. If you're under the tornado warning, proceed to a safe place. Leave your mobile home and get out of that. You want to get out of a car, go somewhere that's a sturdier structure. That's important to do as far as it goes, and we really stress that primarily for folks downstream. And then the other thing is folks that aren't in the tornado warning. What are you going to do? What's downstream here? I see that new warning, Jack. We'll set it back to you in a second here. If you're 30 to 45 minutes in the path, we're talking Decatur, southern Macon County now. You got time. You can go somewhere safer. You can go hang out at your best friend Bubba Joe's house or whatever. If you're in a mobile home, hang out at a sturdier house here. Leave. Go to be prepared to seek shelter. If you're watching us now, you watch us on TV, on the app, make sure your phone's charged, arrange that safe place, make sure there's no groceries or toilet paper that everyone's been hiding there. Have that place ready to roll, maybe a flashlight as well. That WCIA3 weather app, we just sent a push alert out for that. So again, looking at Decatur Live now, there's a new severe thunderstorm warning that we've got, Jack. I'll send it back to you if you're ready for me.
Yep.
That warning now is for the storms kind of behind it. As well, we're still watching that storm to the south of Auburn, but I'm going to keep my eyes on this camera to see if we don't see something else happen here, Jack.
Yep, so we'll take it, come back to me, yep. We have some warnings here that we want to just pass along to you. Christian, Macon, as well as Sangamon counties until 7 o'clock. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. You're right? Okay, severe thunderstorm warning until 7:30. And this one, as you'll notice here with the coloring, is yellow. It's not orange, which means that there's no tornado possible tag with it. Can there be a tornado that does pop up out of this one? Yes, it's possible. But as of right now, the way things are looking, that is not to be the case. We also do have a few more warnings down into Macoupin County, 2 of them, in fact. One until 7, another one until 7:15. Those are also still baseline warnings with 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch in diameter hail. So these storms have begun to fire up and strengthen, and we've been talking about them being in the southern, kind of the southern part of this line of storms here. These line of storms, when they're going from north to south, the southern ones are usually going to be the stronger ones due to the fact that they've got more warm air, humidity to work with, and so that's what we have right now. But obviously, we've still been on just the one storm. The storm that is now moving into portions of Macon County. We've got this one as being still observed for the next 5 minutes. This one has had a history of producing tornadoes with either warnings on them or even observed, confirmed tornadoes on the ground with it. And so that's what we continue to stay on the newscast for this information. We still do have a little bit of an inflow notch that still can be seen with this, kind of right there, just south of the interstate. So just south of the interstate in the extreme western portions of Macon County is where likely that circulation is. And it's still moving off to the east and southeast direction up to around 30 to 40 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour. So we're still good with that one. We're still waiting for any more updates. But this one has just a few more minutes left to go with its warning. But you can see now with our Decatur camera, our Carriage Crossings weather camera, and our Flooring America iNet, you've got the wall cloud as it's coming into town. You've got the lightning flashes from it as well. And you can also see, too, some of the ragged clouds of the base of it, the bottom of the cloud. That's what's called scud, and that just shows that the atmosphere is very It's very humid. We're able to make clouds very low to the ground, even technically below the cloud. But Scott, you had a picture that we wanted to pull up here if we can. This is a view of that shelf cloud. And where was this again, Scott? I apologize.
I think that's the...
oh, you know what? I think my IFB died.
Yeah,
oh, no. Rural Atwood. Rural Atwood is where this was.
I think we're looking at there, Jack, is we're looking at the Supercell storm in the distance. See the overshooting top?
Yeah, that's what yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty impressive shot here as far as it goes.
Looking west-southwest from Atwood. That's the picture there.
So we appreciate your photos and keeping updates. Again, right now, 6:42, as we were watching those viewer photos. If you have any photos, you can send them to us on our Facebook page and your Twitter, any reports. We appreciate that. Our news team is keeping updated on things that are going on. We've just extended that tornado warning to now include all of Macon County here, Jack.
Yeah. Let's quickly, before we go, let's quickly check in with what Jennifer has. Jennifer's got some information.
I mean, it really isn't a lot, which is a good thing. Yeah. We're kind of just supporting you in the newsroom, trying to make calls. We did call Sangamon County ESDA, and they said, no, they haven't had any calls for assistance.
That's good.
So that is really good.
Yeah.
So as this moves through, we're going to be calling Macon County, and as it goes on. But right now for Sangamon County, no calls for assistance. They said the only storm calls that have been made are local, so we're assuming maybe they're calling smaller departments in smaller towns, but no widespread damage over there.
Good, good. And a lot of these have been in some of the kind of just wide open fields areas as well, so that's been good news as well. But we'll keep on bringing you information. Have the newsroom keep on making those calls, Jennifer. I appreciate that. Yep. And we have the new tornado warning that we want to get to now. This new tornado warning goes until 7:15. And it's for Macon County. Jacob, you got something?
Yeah, we want to just kind of pull that feed up here on the chroma key. And Jack, if you want to kind of drive things for me, first off, this is that circulation down here just on the south side of 72. That new tornado warning does include all of Decatur at this point. A confirmed tornado on the ground. There's also some golf ball size hail with this. That golf ball size hail likely to the Niantic area and off to the west of Decatur. That circulation looks like it's taken more of that right turn we talked about. It originated up here and is moving a little more to the south. So I want to say it's darn close to I-72 here, right there perhaps. That's exactly what we're looking at. Booty, we told you, we gave you a heads up. Macon, we gave you a heads up. Decatur, we mentioned this was coming, even down towards Mount Zion and off to the west there as far as it goes. Again, a confirmed tornado, also some golf ball size hail. This is just areas to the north and west of Dalton City. Here's 36. We can move back a little there. Okay, we'll talk about the hail here. It may be coming down a little bit, and that sometimes happens with these storms that pulls. But if we can, Jack, I'd like to pull that warning up and talk about who's in and who's out here as far as it goes. So here we are, the city of Decatur. Right here, Forsyth, this does not include you. This is the city of Decatur. This is Macon. This is Booty. This is down areas north of Moweaqua. We're watching here. In fact, that camera shot, very impressive look there as far as it goes. I'm kind of aiming at the edge of the screen here. We're looking right at it.
We're looking right. We're looking right at it.
If that is, so we're going to want to keep this double box. In fact, boy.
Got some cloud to ground lightning on there. Just popped up there on the left side of the screen. So the storm has, I mean, we've turned the lightning off with it because it's going to be, it's hard to see all the details out of these storms, but these have been prolific lightning makers as well. But yeah, that view of Decatur, that's it right there.
If we can get that Skycam full screen on the green wall too, and I think maybe we need to have Mark Maxwell in Springfield ready to move east to Decatur behind this storm, because this makes me a little nervous looking at that shot as far as it goes here. Again, the confirmed tornado reported by storm spotters and local authorities here, and that's something where we'd watch. So here we go. If we can get that up, there it is, full screen, and I'll wait for where we're popped up on top of there because I want to be able to talk about it and point some things out.
I'll drive Dickie, and I will zoom in as need be.
All right. So if you've got the camera up on Max 2, is that correct, Jack?
No, it's on Max 1.
It's on Max 1. Okay, good. So we'll know that that's the case. So we can bring Max 1 full on the chroma key so we can start pointing some things here. Here we go. This right here, Jack, really has my eye. You can see there's some motion here. It's still a little far away, but it's getting closer, and we may very well have something that comes down before us here. Decatur, shelter now. I've got to say that at this point, this storm making me a little nervous coming into a populated area, especially with the history of tornadoes that are down here with that. And so we're looking more to the right side here. We're not going to focus and keep on we're not going to focus and keep on one place with this particular storm. We're going to keep our eyes everywhere as far as it goes. So let's, real quick, before we send it to Mark Maxwell, I really want to watch this because, Jack, I think we're going to watch this drop here before all is said and done. I'm really interested in that feature right there. There's a lot of motion in there, Jack. The lightning really picked up, and that's a sign usually that something is going on as far as it goes. So we'll have Mark in standby. I really think, Jack, we want to keep this shot for right now because this is a dangerous storm coming into a populated area, and this right here is what we're watching. You're watching this from us on our Flooring America iNet camera, Carriage Crossing, sponsored in downtown Decatur, looking off to the west. And if something comes down, this may very well be something we have to watch and keep our eyes on here. Let's take a wide shot just to make sure, Jack.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. Just taking the nice wide shot. Oh, wow, the lightning is
that is something
really
else to see here
with that storm.
As far as it goes. And you'll notice that lightning. Here's what we're looking at. First off, this is where the updraft of the storm is here, and we're watching a circulation kind of tucked in back here, more than likely. West, this is looking west from downtown. That street there goes in a west direction. I was there a couple weeks ago when we had the snow indicator, Jack. Recognize that like the back of my hand.
Oh, yeah, we can't forget that.
Yeah, oh, man. What, 2 weeks and we go from snow to tornadoes? It sounds like central Illinois, if you're asking me. This here, though, looking to the west, it's a little bit south of west of downtown Decatur, and that lightning is impressive. This right here, you can see coming into town is going to be that hail core, that heavy rain threat as well. It's going to be something that we watch here very closely, and this is that area that we've got to watch. So as much as I want to hear from Mark Maxwell, Jack, I really think at this point we've got to watch this feature because it is spinning like a top, and it is tightening up here as it's moving towards a populated area. If in the back, if Mark has any damage reports or something important, let me know before we check in with him. I'd just like to know that as far as it goes. I'm just kind of checking these reports too, Jack.
You got a lot of clouded ground lightning with this storm. You'll be able to see it as it comes in closer. You're seeing more and more of it, which does signify a very strong storm. It's most likely, you know, we've got on our velocity too. We've got the velocity showing the nice couplet there too, just to the, well, basically kind of just off to the west-northwest of Booty, to the northeast of Osborneville. And it still might be turning more and more to the right, Jacob.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. That usually happens with these types of storms.
When they get a little stronger, they start to turn even harder and harder to the right. And so this might be, you know, we don't want to say anything just yet, but this might end up being more on the south side of Decatur more than anything else.
Yeah, down in the southwest side and the south side, south of downtown. But at this point, anyone in Decatur, we don't want to rule anyone out.
Correct. The whole city is in there right now. Yeah, the whole city's in there right now. But this might be trying to turn more to its right, which would be more to the southeast.
Are you kind of seeing where I'm pointing here, Jack? That lowering that's in place.
Yeah, I'm going to move it a little bit too.
That'd be great. I think you're right about the south surge here. Usually when storms take a right turn, it's a sign they're strengthening. The rotation is increasing. Seeing the lightning like this, that's a sign that this storm is a meaning business for Macon County. Right now, we're very concerned for Decatur, areas south of Decatur. Forsyth, you're good if you're in Forsyth, up by the Hickory Mall, up that way. If you're watching in Maroa, you're watching up north of Decatur, you're fine here. Argenta, Orienta, you'll get some hail maybe up in that general direction, but the tornado threat primarily with this rotating wall cloud is going to very much be concerned primarily to the in and south of Decatur. So Decatur, shelter now. That's what we want you to do here as we watch this. Even if there's not a tornado that comes down your street, this still has some large hail, and the latest looks like it's up to golf balls and perhaps even larger than that. So we're going to watch that and keep an eye on this here as far as it goes, because I think, Jack, a couple of things we're going to watch for.
Yeah, are you trying to move the Max 1?
Nope, I was just kind of checking to see something else. So I want to pull up my GR on my laptop for personal observation here. Something we're seeing here, this is knocking on Booty's door. I'll tell you what, Harristown, you're getting some big hail right now. Here at the 51-72 split in the southwest side of town down towards Booty. There's going to be some big hail there, too. This tornadic circulation, Decatur, you got to shelter, even if it goes a little more south here. Jack, at this point, we're going to be watching for either something to touch down, but I'm a little concerned with the storm to the south and west wrapping in there. This may start to get wrapped up in rain, and we'll have to watch for any power flashes here. And then I'm also looking at radar and thinking that some of that heavier rain really approaching our camera now. We may lose the view.
Yeah, the rain is definitely picking up on it. I'm going to zoom out farther out. And So it still is a ways from downtown, but it's very close within our camera range here. Now, I mean, there's at times when you get, especially the lightning flash, there's some indication that there could be something there. I can't say for certain. Wow, those cloud to ground lightning strikes are just impressive looking as that comes on through.
Jack, if we can bring radar full, I want to check on that northern Christian County storm, and then I also want to check on the Montgomery County storm. It just kind of something has my eye, and I'd like to do a little radar analysis of that on the wall, and then we'll let you kind of talk more about that if we can. First off, if you're looking down there near Stonington, there's some hail and wind, but there's that little feature there that kind of has my eye. Kind of north of Taylorville, and under the path that it'd be going, it'd stay north of Taylorville. But Stonington, we're going to keep an extra eye out for you as well with that particular storm. You kind of see that areas of green right in there, and so I'd like to kind of point that out here. There it is. Maybe even back
some
there
towards
circulations
here and there.
Yeah, so a couple of things may be going on there. No warning, we're watching for you. And of course, there's some big hail as well down towards the storm coming into northern Montgomery County near Farmersville, Wagoner. We're a little farther away with radar shot there, but you kind of look and you can see that's going to be approaching I-55 as far as it goes here in central Illinois. That is for quarter hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds, but there's likely a core of some hail right there. That little pink part from Girard, you come here towards Farmersville, I-55, the old US 66, that rickety old road that parallels 55 there, and those storms are moving to the south. So we'll watch southern Christian County too. Just wanted to check base on that, Jack, to make sure we're watching.
Yeah,
that's all I see. I think that's all you're probably seeing as well.
Yeah, everything is just all baseline, 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch in diameter hail. Got a local storm report, though, out of Petersburg, but this is back now over an hour ago of some power poles that were blown down in the Petersburg area. That's just a new warning there, I guess, that the sirens are going off in Decatur.
Rightfully so.
Yep. So that's some good news there that they've got that working.